You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Welcome to Catholic Chicago.
Good morning and welcome to the Voice of Charity. I'm Katie Bredemann and we extend Happy New Year wishes to everyone in our audience. We also send very best wishes to all who are listening on WNDZ in Chicago and all who are watching our live stream on YouTube and Facebook at Catholic Chicago. Before we start today's show, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the extraordinary multimedia content team here at the Archdiocese of Chicago that produces the Voice of Charity each week. Vince Girasoli, Mike May, Brian Brack, and Clint Cottrell. We are so grateful for all you do to help us share the work of Catholic Charities through this program each week, and I wish each of you a very happy new year too. The holidays may be over, but at Catholic Charities, we are incredibly excited for an elegant winter event that's coming up just 4 weeks away. It is the 2024 Divine Affair, a chic afternoon at Chicago's Union League Club that will be held on Sunday, February the 4th from 2 to 6 p.m. It will be a very enjoyable event for all who attend, but at the same time, Divine Affair will provide critical support to Catholic Charities' programs and services during these especially challenging winter months. Here to tell us all about the 2024 Divine Affair is Joseph Glunz Jr., president of Glunz Wines Import and Distribution House. And joining Joe is Rosemarie Lesniak Mendez, Director of Mission Engagement for Catholic Charities North and Northwest Region. And Rosemarie is going to provide details about how the proceeds of Divine Affair are going to be used to help further the mission of Catholic Charities. Welcome, Joe and Rosemarie.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, and Happy New Year to you both.
Happy New Year to you and everyone watching.
Thank you so much. Joe, can we start with you? You and the entire Glunz family have been tremendously generous in establishing Divine Affair in 2001 and then continuing to sponsor it in such creative ways over the past 23 years. It's truly amazing. Can you remind our audience a bit about your family history with your family business in Chicago and with your association with Catholic Charities?
Thanks, Katie. First, I want to take the opportunity to thank you especially for helping to promote this fantastic event that we've hosted here now for 23 years. And it's just been an absolute pleasure working with everyone at Catholic Charities to support such important causes, not only here in Chicago, but throughout the Midwest and beyond. So thank you for all those at Catholic Charities and all those that support it. Our family had the great opportunity to survive and thrive through the craziness of the Chicago fire, and my great-grandfather started with a loan from Mayor Wacker, or from Charles Wacker, the Wacker family, in getting and starting a beer bottling house that actually started in 1888 and still continues to exist and operate today with my Aunt Barbara and my cousins. And that's an old town on Wells and Division. Every generation is added onto the family business and carrying with it the importance of helping to support those in need. We started as immigrants coming over from Germany, as my great-grandfather did, and continued to receive support in doing so from Charles Wacker and the Wacker family, and continuing on to today. And we have always felt the importance and need to give back and to help support those, especially those in our backyard right here in Chicago. In our wine importing and distributing business, my father and my mom took the great opportunity to have all of our suppliers that were coming in for our big grand tasting, our big trade event in the beginning or end of January, beginning of February. Everybody was coming in. It was a slow time, so we thought that we would take advantage of that and the popularity of wineries to the consumer So we opened up the event and started the Divine Affair with all of those suppliers participating a day early on Sunday, and then our big trade event on Monday, and hosting 2 big wine tastings with some great support. And in 2001, it's got started, and every year since, we've continued to grow it and continue to grow it this year, which is very fun. And it's a lot of fun to see your smiling face there most years. We're sorry we missed you last year.
And I look forward to attending this year as well. You really do have a wonderful legacy in Chicago, Joe, you and your family, of business success, but also philanthropy. And Catholic Charities is so grateful for all you continue to do to help further our mission. Can you help explain a little bit about what attendees can expect at the 2024 Divine Affair?
So we've got a regular program that we usually have well over 40 wineries representing over 250 different wines from all over the world. You get the opportunity to taste through an elaborate number of different wines, from the ones you know, Chardonnay, Cabernet Merlot, all the way through really cool grapes you might not have heard of, and expand into horizons like Uruguay and different regions that you might not know as advanced as your knowledge might be. So it's really a great event for everyone. On top of it, one segment that people keep mentioning is that they don't realize we have amazing food that's being brought together by Union League Club, including great stations, including gourmet pizzas, pate, some great elaborate carving stations, which is fun, on top of the amazing wine. And this year, we have Bab's Boards, which is the ever popular new segment of charcuterie board building. And Bab is going to bring us through doing that. And of course, we'll have to put up with eating some of that terrible charcuterie as well.
I love how you just keep reinventing this event every year, Joe, and adding new and fun things for participants to engage in. Can people purchase wines and craft beers as well as participate in the raffles?
Yes, thank you for asking, Katie. Great points. We have partnered for many years with both House of Glunz as well as the Vin Chicago outlets to be able to make all of the wines that are there that night that you fall in love with and taste all these new wines. And you actually can purchase them through Vin Chicago. Go pick them up when you have time in the following weeks. And then you have the great opportunity also to bid on different auctions that we're going to have large format, very hard to source different wines, as well as a wine grab, which is always very popular and sells out pretty quickly. This year, we'll have 2 different levels of the wine grab. So you basically spend X amount, $25 or $50. I forget what the numbers are, but you pay that amount and you go through and pick a bottle blindly, and that bottle might be right at that cost or a heck of a lot more. So it's a great fun way to add on to your wine experience.
It all sounds fabulous, Joe. You know, our live stream is showing photos from the 2023 Divine Affair, and you see your folks right there, who I believe received an award last year, which is so well-deserved from Catholic Charities. And this event is just so perfectly timed on the Sunday before the Super Bowl, when there's no playoff football to watch. So
Absolutely.
For anybody, there's Father Wayne Watts as well, a longtime supporter and associate administrator, Catholic Charities. So for anyone who in our audience who'd like to learn more and purchase tickets, they can go to CatholicCharities.net and then click Enable Our Work, and then click and attend an event, and then you'll see Divine Affair right there where you can register and purchase your tickets. Joe, are there sponsorship opportunities still available? And if so, can you tell people how they can learn more about those?
This is Catholic Charities. We need all the charity we can get and all the support we can get. So we'll definitely always make room for more sponsorships. And it is really just so important for the backbone of this event, as well as all of the great Catholic Charities events, to get that corporate sponsorship, to show your support and build the business on such great, caring individuals that come to this event. But we'll always and do have availability, and you can get the invites. Will be coming out very soon, and you can go to the Divine Affair website as well and sign up for that. And we'll always share heavily on that the sponsorship side, so that we can continue to grow this event and the success of the event, which we try to increase every year to support the much needed events and plans for Catholic Charities.
So well said, Joe. And so again, it's CatholicCharities.net/enable-our-work/attend an event. And then you'll see sponsorship opportunities and ticket registration right there. Rosemary, you and your team have been on the front lines every day throughout the pandemic, throughout post-pandemic, helping people who are struggling in serious ways. Can we ask you to join the conversation and tell us what are some of the common concerns you're responding to so far this winter? Because we know your work is so integrated with every Catholic Charities event, including Divine Affair, because the proceeds of these events are sponsoring your work. So can you give us a little bit of an insight into what common concerns are of your clients this winter?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. And I agree, Divine Affair is just one of my favorite events every year. And it really supports, all of the work that you see on our website. It spans, we could take a whole show just to list every single program that Catholic Charities offers. But what we're seeing in the North and Northwest region, really, like you said, the common concerns, food and clothing are always our main topics that we're seeing come in. As far as food, we've got our our food pantry. We have suppers Tuesday and Thursdays in the displays office, but then we also have a supper Tuesday evenings, the first and third Tuesdays in Skokie, and our numbers just continue to go up. We thought, COVID spiked everything, but the numbers have not gone down. We are continuing to have to order more food. We're also seeing, so many people sign up for our holiday meal programs. We've just done a Thanksgiving meal program. We're hoping to do a Christmas meal program. And those are really the main things that we're seeing.
And Rosemary, right before the holidays, our Catholic Charities annual report for 2023 was published. And one of the statistics mentioned is that 57,000 adults and children receive community-based supports through our regional offices. As the regional director of mission engagement for that North and Northwest region, can you tell us what some of those regional supports are?
Yes. Aside from the food and clothing room that we also offer counseling services through the regional offices. There are veteran services. We do senior nutritional food programs. We have housing programs. And then we just last night did a big toy distribution for our clients that regularly come to our suppers, our clothing room. We invited local legislators. We had about 4 local legislators and the mayor of Des Plaines join us to do this toy distribution. And they come with ideas of how they can participate and how they can help, distribute meals and clothing and necessary items to our clients. So it was really a lovely event to see.
Oh, so glad that you were able to share that holiday joy. I know that you have a wonderful network of volunteers who are very devoted and supportive of your work throughout the year as well. Rosemary, would you like to give a little shout out to them as this new year kicks off?
Absolutely. In the Des Plaines, in Northwest region in particular, there are maybe a handful of less than 5 employees, fewer than 5, and the volunteers make our programs work. We're 95% volunteer run, and we could not do what we do. We couldn't serve as many people as we serve. We couldn't even keep our building organized without the critical work of our volunteers. And we have some that have been with us for 1 month and up to 18 years. So we are so incredibly grateful, and we would love to. Thanks for the opportunity to give the shout out, Katie.
Well, I think a big part of them wanting to return is your leadership. You're wonderful at what you do, and Catholic Charities is blessed to have you in such a key role in the North and Northwest region. Joe and Rosemary, if you'll please bear with us, we're going to take a break here on The Voice of Charity, and when we return, we're going to continue to talk about this wonderful preview of the 2024 Divine Affair. Please stay tuned.
Catholic Charities' Family Self-Sufficiency Program has assisted thousands of single parents who are working to become more self-sufficient through education and employment opportunities. Our experienced case managers accompany participants for up to 5 years on their journey to identify, address, and break down barriers to improving their quality of life and achieving meaningful goals for themselves and for their families. Professional, compassionate assistance is offered in a safe and trusting environment as participants develop the skills needed to become financially stable and able to support themselves. Every achievement starts with a decision to try. To learn more about Catholic Charities' Family Self-Sufficiency Program, call 847-782-4233 or visit CatholicCharities.net.
People always say, how can you spend your day with 3-year-olds? Seeing the changes that they go through and just the journey and how they grow, this is a very rewarding job. Even though at the end of the day, we're not the highest paid people on earth. And when I have a parent contact me and say, my child loves school, that to me, I'm setting that foundation for their love of learning. Because really, you are changing lives, you are molding lives.
Shape the next generation of leaders. Teach. Apply today at archchicago.org/schooljobs.
Community is core to Catholic Charities' founding mission. For more than 100 years, we have met people and families where they are, serving anyone in need, regardless of their faith, gender, race, or ethnicity. As our world absorbs the economic, political, and social aftershocks of the pandemic, 50% or more of the 6 million people living in Cook and Lake counties have little or no savings. They are a paycheck away from zero. We are deeply grateful to everyone in the Catholic Charities community who partners with us to alleviate the suffering of the people we serve and offer them a better path forward. We are witnessing a message of mercy and hope to a world very much in need. Learn more at CatholicCharities.net.
Welcome back to the Voice of Charity. I'm Katie Bredemann, and it's my great pleasure today to be here with Joseph Glunz Jr., the president of Glunz Wine's Import and Distribution House, as well as Rosemary Lesniak Mendez, who is the director of mission engagement for Catholic Charities North and Northwest region. And we are so fortunate to have a little sneak preview here of Catholic Charities 2024 Divine Affair, the wonderful wine and craft beer tasting event that's going to be held on Sunday, February the 4th from 2 to 6 p.m. at the Union League Club. This is the 23rd year that the Glunz family has generously sponsored and coordinate this event in support of Catholic Charities. Anyone who'd like to purchase tickets and learn more about the event can go to CatholicCharities.net/enable-our-work/attend-an-event. And everything about Divine Affair, including sponsorship opportunities, are going to be right there. And Rosemary, right before the break, we were talking about how you at your regional office, are addressing client concerns this winter. I'm wondering if you could also, possibly share a story or two about guests who have come to your regional office looking for assistance and found help from Catholic Charities.
Absolutely. There are so many stories to tell. And I will say we often hear stories about how, like you said, we're directly impacting folks. We could, pick out of a million stories that are heartwarming. But I thought of a story that I wanted to share of how Catholic Charities is indirectly helping through one of our programs. We have a garden in our Des Plaines regional office, which has about 21 garden beds. It's been developed over the last several years in conjunction with the Illinois Extension Program. And this past summer, because of some last minute changes with the program, we were not able to run the garden program this year, where we have volunteers come, we have a master gardener, and we provide hundreds of pounds of produce to our food pantry. So that was unfortunate, but it was a little too late to be able to offer it to parishes, let's say adopt a garden program. And one of our regular clients, she has twin little boys that we have been watching grow up. They've been coming since they were just little tiny shy boys and blossoming into these lovely preteens, which is hard to say, but they are kind and polite and they always say hello, and they've been coming for years. And the mom asked us if she could use the garden because she noticed that it had been unused. And it turns out that her father was a farmer back in Poland, her father and her grandfather. And so she has all this knowledge and she wanted to use our garden to teach her children. And sometime late summer, I came in and every single one of the 21 garden beds was used. She was donating produce. She bought the seeds herself. This was all her own work. And she was donating produce back to Catholic Charities, along with teaching her boys, this background that she had. And so I loved hearing that story, and I share it whenever I can, because that wasn't a Catholic Charities program directly that helped her. However, she knew it was there. She had benefited from the garden and the food pantry before, and she wanted to use it to give back in her own way. So I love that story.
That's a wonderful story. And it is so common at Catholic Charities that those who receive assistance try to find ways in the days, months, years to come afterward to try to give back and help somebody and pay it forward, right, Rosemary?
Absolutely.
No, that's just a wonderful story. I also just know you've been part of the Catholic Charities community, the family, for how many years now have you been involved with Catholic Charities?
8.5 years.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Can you help, share with our audience a little bit about what drew you to the mission and what keeps you so passionate about it today?
Absolutely. What drew me initially was just, I grew up Catholic and always knowing about Catholic Charities and volunteering at things. And so when the opportunity presented itself, I knew that it was God working. But what has kept me for so long, the people, the families we serve, the clients, and in stories like this, I'm always amazed about how many stories I hear from people. There's some connection to Catholic Charities. There's always a connection in some way. Somebody was adopted through Catholic Charities. They adopted their kids. They used to be a client. They went through our housing program, just any little touch. And then we've got volunteers that come back after being a client to serve with us because now they're in a better place. And so that is the type of thing that even though I suppose I'm on the front lines because I'm working with clients, but I'm not a social worker. I can't help in that way, but I absolutely love interacting with them. I love talking to them, getting to know their stories, and it's heartwarming.
Well, as I said, you're a great leader, and Catholic Charities is so fortunate having you as Director of Mission Engagement for our North and Northwest office. And I'm so grateful for you helping to add so much important context to what we're talking about, this awesome divine affair, helping people on the front lines, getting through this challenging winter. Joe, I just want to turn the discussion back to you and just ask, as Rosemary talks about all Catholic Charities programs and services and the ones that are helping clients in her region this winter, are there any programs and services at Catholic Charities that are especially meaningful to you?
Absolutely. And I want to thank Rosemary for all that she's doing. And it's just awesome to hear that stories that you mentioned and love the gardening story and not only teaching the next generation, but giving back to people that are in the same position she was in. Just awesome. And also during the break, we heard from the family self-sufficiency advertisement there. And that is definitely core. I mean, we're fourth generation family business, and I've got 9 siblings. So family means a lot to us, obviously. And, it's not just one person. It's not just one generation. It's multi-generations. It's communities. It's villages. It's everyone joining in, like the example Rosemary used, in giving back when you're being given something. And we've all been helped and assisted in our times of need. And in the family self-sufficiency program, there is no one that is more in need than the women that come into this program the families that get support during this program to help raise their children and to get them from their commitment to the program, get them out of the situation that they're in and elevate them, not only for themselves again, but again, in this example of feeding forward and giving forward and learning things that you can then raise your children and raise generations and great communities ahead from.
Beautifully
so
said.
It's really important and just a very heartfelt center to this divine affair since the get-go.
Beautifully said, Joe. I totally agree. That family self-sufficiency program, it's amazing to see how hard the participants try to achieve their goals over the 5 years that they're involved. And then it's amazing to see all that they accomplish. It's really quite a remarkable program. And so just...
My dad doesn't cry much, but when he MCs those graduations, it's waterfalls, baby. It's unbelievable. And it's just amazing to see what commitment and support the participants and the crew at Catholic Charities do and have, and to see the results of that, black and white.
So well said. Just as we're kind of running out of time here, what do you think have, in your opinion, have been the keys to success about Divine Affair over these past 23 years, which is, I still am amazed at that, the longevity of that. What do you think have been the key success, and what would you say to anybody in the audience today who's considering coming on Sunday, February 4th?
Number one, if you've never been, you have to come in order to be able to understand it. We've all been. It's so easy to see and understand once you get there. But the key thing is, if you have been, if you're listening to this, you love Catholic Charities as much as we do, get the word out, throw out some social media, invite some friends, drinking wine or not, it's all extra. The major event is supporting and raising funds with a great cause, for a great cause, with great people and a lot of amazing fun times.
At the beautiful Union League Club, too, where, as I said, we're showing these photos. And what a fantastic venue to hold this event, Joe.
Yeah, so you had commented earlier, it's like going to Napa. It is going to the highest end place and having Napa and the rest of the wine world come to you, which is even better. And it doesn't cost you a flight. So just a beautiful, amazing opportunity. And I will guarantee this, you will not be disappointed when you and all of your friends come to the Divine Affair to enjoy and help support Catholic Charities.
I think you shared to me that, you have the wine tasting classes and everything there, and you've got these experts from around the world teaching people about their wineries and about their businesses. People are fascinated by this entire industry. And so, in many ways, the 4 hours isn't enough, right, Joe?
It is. We do often have to remind people that you have been here for 4 hours. We need to move on. It is fantastic. Everyone has a blast. And you just learn so much by just tasting, much less tasting with experts in the field and owners of the wineries.
Absolutely. It's a thrilling afternoon and a fabulous opportunity to support Catholic Charities. I want to thank you, Joe and Rosemarie, for being on the show today and inspiring us all to gather our friends, family members, and neighbors to attend Divine Affair on Sunday, February the 4th at the Union League Club. Joe, we would like to take this opportunity to thank once again, you, your parents, your Uncle Louis Glunz, and all of your extended family members for all that you continue to do in support of the mission of Catholic Charities. Rosemarie, it is always inspiring to hear you talk about how you and your team are always evolving to respond to the needs of those we serve. Please let us know in communications how we can continue to support the work that you do.
Thanks so much, Katie.
This makes a fantastic Christmas gift. Everyone always wants to know, what kind of experience, instead of, kids have, or not kids, adults, families, they have all the things, what can I get them? And we've gifted this to our family and friends. And like Joe said, it's like you're gifting them a trip to Napa at a fraction of the cost, and it's for a good cause. So I highly recommend buying tickets as a Christmas gift.
So again, we recommend that everyone go to CatholicCharities.net/enable-our-work/attend an event, and you'll find all the information about Divine Affair. Thanks again, Joe and Rosemarie.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you. And we invite all of you back again next week for another edition of The Voice of Charity. For now, this is Katie Bredemann, and we thank you for tuning in and believing in the mission of Catholic Charities.